Hello, happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, April 16th, 2022. I'm Gary DeAndre, Gangsta Guri, here with a self-hypnosis brainwave going on in the background because listen, we about to get deep, bitch. We about to get into it. And it's been quite some time since I've done a video like this because I just haven't wanted to be on camera. And listen, I've been waiting for the energy to lift, to feel like I'm in an appropriate place to share. And I feel ready, and I hope that you're ready to receive. So before we go ahead and hop into today's message, I want to just like ground down a little bit because there has been this message around getting grounded that has been really important for us in the collective. And I just want to take a second to do a little breath work together and just breathe us into this moment. So you're going to put your hands in front of your heart chakra. If you want to cross your legs, you can. If you want to close your eyes, you can. But let's take a deep breath in. And release. Let's do one more. Deep breath in. And release. Very nice job. Rub our hands together, clap twice, snap once, roll your shoulders back. Let's get into it. But before I begin, Heavenly Father, Earth Mother who love us unconditionally, thank you so much to every person that is watching this right now, wherever they are checking in from in this world. Thank you so much to our spirit guides in this very moment, benevolent ancestors that are here with us, guiding us in this moment for whatever information will come out for today. And thank you for allowing me to be the conduit of this message. Amen and Ashe. So mote it be. Whew, it's good to be back. Black Kyanite is the card that came out earlier this morning. So if you follow me on Instagram, I posted this probably like all of 10 minutes ago. But the key firm message for this full moon is all around setting strong boundaries. And of course, because you know the universe is amazing, as I was setting up, I have a golden healer. I think this is called Auralite. And of course, Black Kyanite was the crystal that I pulled out even before this card came out. So our intuition is spot on, as much as we may not even want to trust that it is. Like, our guts have been saying things to us, and we have to set strong boundaries right now and be firm in our no's, okay? This is why we are not experiencing balance, because we are having a hard time saying no, okay? And I know that I've been having a hard time saying no. But it's also just like, you know, our spirit is telling us to say no, but our minds are telling us to say yes or maybe, or giving like this inkling that, you know, oh, I can do this, like blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And that's not what it's supposed to be giving right now. We're supposed to be saying no. We're supposed to be saying, actually, I can't do that. Actually, I'm going to, you know, be over here right now. So I can't come and do what you're asking me to do, or I can't show up the way that you're asking me to show up, because that's just not going to work for me right now. Set strong boundaries is coming up for us as a message collectively, because we have been drained. We have been overwhelmed. We have been stressed out. We feel like as this astrological new year has come, it feels like there's demons from the old new year that are trying, or the old year that are trying to like pull us backwards. And sometimes we're saying, yes, we're human. You feel what I'm saying? But don't look at it as a setback. Look at it as a setup for a comeback. And you know that I've said this before, but it's like a setup for us to remember why we were doing what we were doing at the very beginning of this year in the first place, because these were the things that were working for us. And then there were some things that were not working for us, but we were just going with it because we didn't have the direct clarity on the situation. And now we found ourselves back doing old things because they are comfortable. And that doesn't necessarily have to be what we're doing, but we have to allow ourselves the opportunity to learn. And setting strong boundaries can help us in these opportunities for learning, because we have to know where we're saying no. We have to know where we're saying yes. We have to know where we are going to be best benefited, devoid of what other people have to say to us. You feel what I'm saying? And this is a moment where setting strong boundaries is going to be the most important piece of the puzzle. The affirmation that goes along with this, it says, I care for myself and others by maintaining firm boundaries with the people in my life. I care for myself and others by maintaining firm boundaries with the people in my life. Where have you been needing to maintain firm boundaries? Where have you been struggling with that? I can say that that is something for me, as far as, you know, saying no to drugs. okay? And it has been a struggle, I'm not even gonna lie. But it's also just like I'm learning what I need for me, and I have to go through that journey alone. And I also can't expect somebody to be in my body. Like, have you ever sat and thought about how everybody's universe is different and how we think that we know, but we have no idea? This is the diary of Gary DeAndre. We think that we know, but we have no idea. And we really think that sometimes we can understand what a person's going through. We can understand what a person's struggle is, but we're not in somebody else's body. We're not in somebody else's actual life. As much as they may let us in, we're still not there. So sometimes, you know, there may be people that are doing things that seem out of character for them. Or maybe seems like, you know, they're doing this from a hurt place, or reacting from a hurt place or from a space that you know that this person may not be needing to react from. But this may be all that they know, and we have to give them some space to figure it out, as well as we're figuring out where we are navigating on this journey alongside them or devoid of them, because you're also navigating this own journey for yourself, and you want some space to be able to figure it out for you too. So lend that space to somebody else, but also know that you don't have to be there throughout that whole journey as well. This feels like a message for somebody specific. But it's all about you knowing where you are learning right now, what you're putting your energy into, what's important for you to stay the most grounded, and where you have to set strong boundaries in this season. So I'm going to pull from the Sailor Moon Oracle deck, the Magical Tarot. This is a new deck that I received, the Sailor Moon Tarot, a couple of days ago. Really excited because, you know, I am a Sailor Scout. So I'm excited to bring these cards because this is the first time that I've ever pulled cards from this deck. Oh, okay, perfect. So we got our cards that have fallen out. We have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. So, love that we have all minor arcana cards coming up. So this feels more like a depiction of the journey and what this is going to be like. You're going to be successful in setting these strong boundaries, right? But you may feel a little anxious in regards to how these strong boundaries are being, they're being materialized in your life. You may feel a little bit of like overwhelmed as you are having to remind yourself of the victory that comes as you are maintaining your mindset. Maintaining the mindset feels like the biggest struggle right now. And it's just like, what are the triggers that come up as we are struggling to like maintain that clarity of mind, that specific space of decorum, and how we are, we're having a struggle right now with staying invested in the journey and knowing that sometimes the mind slips us into other directions, but then how do we get it back on track? And that feels very difficult. But I think the Six of Wands is showing up to remind us of victory, and also the people in our lives that help us to stay on the path of the straight and narrow, or people that help you to just get it together. And also being mindful of people that are taking advantage of us, people that are taking advantage of the place that we are just not supporting us in the way that we need right now, and where we have to let them go. And then I want to look at the bottom of the deck, the World in reverse. And this feels like one of the last little lessons that we need to learn before eclipse season comes. So this full moon in Libra that is coming through is helping us to really get clear on who stays, who goes, what stays, what goes, but knowing that success is our birthright. Success is going to be the answer. Completion, happiness, joy is what is coming from setting these strong boundaries. But there is going to be a little bit of overwhelm if we're not understanding the victory that's coming, right? And then also understanding that there are going to be some people that are really bothered by what we're choosing to do. And you can't internalize what somebody else's experience of what your experience is, because that's not for you to judge. That's not for you to get wrapped up in right now. What is the most important thing for you is to be very clear about the successes that you are laying out. When's the last time you set up some goals for you? When is the last time that you actually had like a vision as to the direction that you're going and the steps that help you to get there? And maybe that's where the anxiety comes from, having to like really lay those things out and be clear on what is a hard yes, what is a hard no, what is a maybe, You know what I'm saying? And having that conversation with yourself, and then also letting somebody else bear witness. That's where a lot of us struggle. A lot of us struggle in allowing other people to bear witness to what it is that we are trying to internalize and materialize and manifest in our lives, because we find fear in letting people in. Because once we let people in, then they start holding us accountable. Perfect example is like, you know, I've talked about my sobriety journey with others, and there have been things that have been happening in the background that I'm just like, am I at a place where I want to talk about that just yet? But I also have let people into this world of me going through these, you know, this up and down and trying to figure it out, but also giving myself some space to know that I don't have to have it all together and I'm human. But I also had to get to a place where I felt comfortable talking about that, and still don't feel fully comfortable talking about it all. But I also know that there is healing in that journey, and also healing in letting other people in my life into that reality that I may be experiencing. And sometimes may not have the words for, and sometimes may be in the trenches. But I do know that there is something on the other side of it. And this is something for all of us to be mindful of. We are in this space of coming out on the other side of it, but we have to know what we're setting up ourselves, what we're setting ourselves up for. So that way we are aware of how we're going to get to the W, how we're going to get to that place of success. Like, we have to name it for ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And like, if you haven't named it, if you're still a little unsure about like what success looks like, give yourself some time throughout this full moon in Libra balancing act that we are going through, in order to figure out what the answer is for ourselves. So now I want to move to the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck to get us a little additional clarity. So as we are going throughout this full moon in Libra, I would like to know for the collective, what is our advice in order to claim victory? How do we claim victory? How do we claim victory? Can I just, ooh, okay, perfect. So how do we claim victory? Represented in our guides. This came up in reverse, but I'm gonna show it this way. The number 7, the truth. So what is the truth? Sharing the truth with our guides, but we may be struggling to do that. Struggling to stay grounded because things feel a little stormy right now. So it's really about us asking what keeps us grounded in the middle of our storms, and then not lying to ourselves, looking at what's beyond the veil, okay? So our guides are going to be really important for us to work with. This is the number 7. 25 plus 7 is 32. 32 plus 21 is 53. 32 plus 21 is 53. Plus 22 is 75. 75 plus 38. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1, 93. I'm pretty sure I did that math right. And please clock me if I didn't. And I did just say 93 if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, because I want to make sure that I got it right. So 25 plus 7, 32. 32 plus 21, 53. 53 plus 22 is 75. 53 plus 22 is 75. 75 plus 38 is where I got it wrong. 75 plus 38, that's where I got it wrong. So that's going to be 113. 113, 133 breaks down to a 5. So we are in the season of transformation, the season of changing. We're all going through a lot of changes right now, and we have to trust our guides. Guides can be in the physical form as well. Who are some of your spiritual guides? Something that I had a discussion with. Come on now, somebody I had a discussion with recently. We were talking about everybody has grievances right now, and maybe the best thing for us to do is share our grievances in a spiritual sense with people that can bear witness. People that can understand what we're going through and are also vulnerable enough, or in a space where they want to be vulnerable enough to understand and be like, listen, like, I'm looking for any sort of advice right now. We have to be open. If we're truly trying to change, if we're truly trying to set strong boundaries, we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough and open to receive from external sources, even when it feels stormy. even when we're not feeling grounded. We have to allow ourselves to see beyond what we can see and let other people see into our lives in order for us to feel better, in order for us to feel more at peace, in order for us to gain clarity and claim victory. So this really is about getting outside of ourselves and finding not just people we can trust, but people that help us to become better, people that help us to become more at peace with who we truly are. So now I'm going to finish up with the Earth Warrior Oracle deck. Shout out to Alana Fairchild. She just mailed me, and shout out to Alana's team. They just mailed me this upgraded deck because I've always had this deck, but I believe this is the second edition of this deck, so I'm busting this out for you all as well. This is my favorite deck, but it's a little newer. So we're going to see what the message here is for us, what this means in a reading. Then we are going to do the healing modality at the end, and then I'll be done. So the number 27, Pono, immeasurable power of the heart way. And we know that the number 27 is my favorite number, one of my two favorite numbers. And it's really about us tapping into the heart and the beauty of the heart. Also, it looks like wings. I see wings in the rainbow. It looks like bat wings, honestly. Batman. So I want us to just really tap into the immeasurable power of the heart way. It says, the heart has the power to heal in a way that the mind cannot understand. Do not allow your mind to distract or frighten you, which goes back to everything I just said. You are a beautiful child of the universe. And divine love lives within your heart. A willing heart is all you need to transform any situation that is troubling you. Recognizing this power does not evoke feelings of pressure or anxiety, but of peace and joy. Lightness of heart and relief of mind are here for you now. In a reading, it says, the divine within your heart has the power to transform a situation that is troubling you. Do not be intimidated or think that it is too much for you or spirit to handle. Do not allow yourself to intellectualize or analyze a situation to the point of feeling confused or paralyzed. Any and all issues that have plagued you or a loved one can and will be healed through the heart. Let your heart feel the faith it needs to feel so that it can rest in joy. Divine healing wants to flow abundantly for you. Open up to receive it without hesitation or condition. So, what I would like for you to do, it says choose a person or situation to which you can offer healing. So after you've chosen this person or situation, I want you to gaze at the image on this card. And I want you to recognize the heart power depicted. So look at the heart. And then it says, place a hand on your heart as you tap into the beauty of your heart, including the feelings of compassion, goodwill, and wanting all beings to know that they are loved and do not deserve to suffer. When you feel that heart connection, you are ready to complete the 4 simple steps without them having to make sense to your mind. Feel the truth of what is happening in your heart as you complete the process. So step 1 says, I'm sorry. Repeat after me. I'm responsible for this situation. I feel so sorry for this. I'm responsible for this situation. I feel so sorry for this. And then it says, let your heart be in compassion as you feel the emotion that is evoked by what you are saying. I'm responsible for this situation. I feel so sorry for this. Now, step 2, ask for forgiveness. You don't need to think whom you're asking it of. Just say, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It's a song. Please forgive me. I feel something in my spirit. It says, as you speak these words, feel the remorse you connected with in step 1. As you ask to be forgiven, be aware that those sensitive to energy may feel or sense a release of energy taking place. Step 3 says, say thank you. Say thank you. Just say thank you. Again, doesn't matter if you have a sense of whom or what you're thinking. Before you even say the words, you may already feel the gratitude that's pouring through you. This will increase as you say the words, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And last, just say I love you. You may start, I feel heat rising off of me, child. This will evoke a response in the soul, this time an outpouring of love. You may feel this consciously, but even if you don't trust it is happening, just say, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Let yourself feel love as you say the words. Place your hands in prayer and relax for a moment. You've completed your healing process. Your healing is all about just saying, I'm sorry. It's all about just like moving through saying you have strong boundaries and doing what you need to do in order to stay with them. And knowing that this is bringing a sense of completion, but this is one last task that you got to get through. Allow yourself to see yourself through this season. Allow yourself to see yourself through this healing, and all will be well, okay? I hope that this was exactly what you needed on this full moon in Libra. I'm happy to be able to bring you all, some tea on today. And I hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful weekend. And if you have any comments, any questions, please leave them below. Again, just so that way everybody gets some insight as to the decks that I'm using. I am using the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck by Heather Askinosi, the Magical Tarot by KO Clubhouse, the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck by Marcella Kroll, and the Earth Warriors Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for having me in your life. Happy full moon. Kisses and hugs. Peace.